to Political Scream. Welcome to Political Scream. Welcome to Political Scream.
Some people say optimist, some people say pessimist, some say antagonist. Me, I say 6 1/2 dozen or the other.
Yes, welcome to Political Scream. Here's some fraught with peril. We'll be right back. We're going to be talking about, what are we going to be talking about? All kinds of crazy shit. Pot and cop. So those are two good things that go great together. Here's fraught with peril.
Leave all this to me. I know it's all you've ever wanted. Slipping still. You say all these ghosts have been forgotten. Not I divine. When the clouds fall from the sky, you'll see I'll be the one holding up the world. Will all be something you can only dream. I'll be the one standing strong with your problems on my shoulders. The one you never know, waiting to subside. Won't you lean on me? Truck, I'll make you want it. Stand down and let me burn. I'll give up myself to cover up the carnage in my mind's eye. When the clouds fall from the sky, you'll see I'll be the one holding up the world. Well, I'll be something you can only dream. I'll be the one standing strong with your problems on my shoulders. The one you'll never know, waiting to subside.
nation has gotten itself into. What a state. What a state of states it's gotten itself into. We're all part of it, America. You and me. You and me, America. Yeah.
Podcast Studios broadcasts out of Italy, so all content is 18 and up. Parental discretion is advised. We do not adhere to the FCC. Find out more online at www.backendstudios.org.
Yeah, this isn't Beerboard 20. This is a goddamn political scream show. Wait, did I just swear?
Yeah, you did. You totally killed it.
We're ruined. Well, there we go, trying to get onto iHeartRadio. I don't have a drum roll. Anyway, so I ruined it. We're not getting on iHeart this episode. This episode is talking about not only police and cameras and, you know, I think that they should be on their own insurance so that they think twice before they shoot people. Because if you're on your own insurance, you're going to think twice before you shoot people, right? Right? Yeah. That's what I thought. Anyway, if you're not part of the group already, go on over. Find us on Political Scream on Facebook. It's facebook.com/political_scream. I don't think it's one word. So I hope you guys enjoyed our metal show earlier, and now we get enough piss and vinegar to do a political scream show. And this isn't just about the Cannabis Restoration and Protection Act, which decriminalizes, basically ends prohibition on marijuana, which it's not only farming our kids and, you know, our taxpayers who like to smoke a little pot when they're off work. They have the capability to know if you're high on the job or not. I mean, it's all there. They would just rather just farm us all into prisons, which are overpopulated. We have a bigger population of prisoners than, like, third world countries. Not even kidding. Like, go look it up. Like, it's insane that a civilized, beyond industrial country that claims its sentience across the entire globe holds more people in prison than any other country in the world. We're a slave state. And what they're doing is they're farming our children with foster care, and they're farming us with prisons and shit like, you know, prohibition laws, which everybody knows that if you tell a kid you can't have that candy bar, what's the kid going to do? They're going to rob, rape, and steal to get that candy bar. I mean, that's basic human nature. You tell free will that they cannot have, and free will tries to grab. And they're just farming us. So instead of putting the Adam's fruit in front of the child, I say we educate the child and cough, sneeze, whatever it takes to end global poverty and homelessness and starvation. And then build these people into consumers. You know, I'm not an anti-capitalist. I am capitalist. But you don't have to do what you're doing in order to get capitalism. What you could do is you could shed one fucking shred of tear off of every purchase, and that would be paying for all of it after you squash the initial problem you created. It's really not that hard to solve when you think about it logically. So anyway, yeah. Thank you to the kids for recognizing the intellect that's missing, because you don't need the strife. Capitalism in the wrong hands, yes, you need a bottom rung of shitbags to fucking feed off of. But in ideal capitalism, democracy / socialism, which is a triad of concepts, if you put the three of those together, suddenly you've got a system that takes care of the base level, and then the base level is striving to reach above the base level that's just handed out to them because they want more. And everybody wants more. So, If you worked it out that way, then there would be no right-wing activists that you had to fight in the streets. There'd be none. And then we could just move from there. You know, very simple concept, very simple answer to a big problem. So, we do, yeah, like I said, you simply take care of the bottom line, and once the bottom line is squashed, they're going to crave to be the ones that can pay for their own stuff, because, and then, yeah, you're going to have your few that are on the bottom just mooching off of it, but, you know, those that want to mooch off the bottom of the asshole of society, that's their choice, right? I mean, they're a pestule, and they're really, you get what I'm saying? I mean, those pilferers, let them be a pestule, whatever, you know, treat them as such. I'm just saying, you're treating all of lower class society that way when it doesn't need to be that way, is what I'm saying, is that if you offered everyone a standard of living that they could survive, have shelter over their head, regardless, they have the best of medicine, blah, 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 blah. You could even make this your institutional quality of internships, you know what I mean? These medications, these medicinal practices are overseen by a doctor or PhD. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And then that PhD is interning them to give the free health care to the... Dude, as Jesus said, he who is lowest among us is the ones whose feet we should wash. I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that even if they're a pestule, you don't lower yourself to their level and go, oh, you're a pestule, so everyone in your social caste is pestules. It is not in our job to judge. That is God's will, not ours. What we do is we provide and let God and the chips fall where they may. And I understand the whole segregation and separationalism and all that. But you can have that to a degree that isn't harming other human beings and causing people to thrive, to not be haters, but to be creators. You get what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, all the fucking people that are mooching welfare right now are haters, not creators. Because we've enabled the system of lies and deceit, and they know it, so they're just feeding off of your nipple where they feel they can. And I know you're planning, oh, we're just going to pull the rug out from under them, and there's going to be mass chaos, and you're all going to have genocide and blah, kill everybody, whatever. And then we're going to clean up the bits, and there's going to be natural disasters, and we'll clean up the bits. No. My point is that we could have a gigantic, fruitful society if you treated them better than the slaves of Egypt. Am I not? I'm absolutely right. I mean, even the slaves of Egypt had a home and a shelter and food and water.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, my point is that, yeah, you'll have your few stragglers, 1 out of 1,000, 1 out of 100, whatever. But that's such a low ratio. Who fucking cares, really? Because they'll be browbeat eventually in a system such as this to be called a deadbeat and such by their own kind that are also poor. And they're going to be, no, Bob, sorry, Bob, Mohawk, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, no, Robert. Wait, that's still a Bob.
That's
right?
still Bob.
Okay, no, Herbert. Is that better?
That's
okay,
better.
No, Herbert. We're not, what you're doing is fucking feeding off the nipple. You're creating the problem, bro. Quit being a hater. Quit being a mooch. Quit being a fucking shitbag. You're not disabled. Get up off your ass and fucking do something. Work for a company you believe in. We should base our companies, our organizations, all that around the concept of education. Yes. Okay. This is my thought about education. Education, you should have the educational wheel on the point that, it's pushing toward big business. I do not argue that. My argument is where the subterfuge comes in. Fess up for your lies and your bullshit. Let's learn from it. Let's move forward from it. So, this is what happened. Big companies come in, they invest in local education. Thus, education becomes free. Big business says, this is the criteria, XYZ, that we're looking for. So they work with the teachers and the school board and the trust and all that good shit to come up with a plan criteria for certain methods of learning, depending on the criteria of the learning that is being taught in said high school or pre-high school education. And then all of a sudden, the companies get the best of the best. The United States becomes the big superpower that it once was, and they get jobs when they leave school. These companies invest in the schools and the lower education, even though the student may change career paths. It doesn't matter because there are many hands in the pot, and you're all supporting each other regardless of your field. Who cares if the student changes their mind? There is no fucking war. It is about individuals and what they want to acquire for knowledge. So, if a student decides once they hit college, halfway through their career in school, they go, okay, I don't want to be a botanist because I've done the on-job stuff and the intern stuff to experience what it is, because everything is backed by big companies that can afford to pay these bills to allow these interns to work there free of charge, da-da-da. They're making a little money back, some circumstances, they may be in paid internships, whatever. But the point is that then the student, you're not getting, it's better to invest in a student for 3 months and let them leave with a good attitude about who you are, but want to do something else, than to dash them because they left your field to go do something else. Because then they're going to tell their buddy, no, you know what, you're into blah, blah, blah. I checked out blah, blah, blah. It was pretty fascinating, but it was over my head. Do you get what I'm saying? There is a rotation of information there that's being missed. And, Matthew Richards says, I missed the rock and metal show earlier, but I am here for whatever show this is. And yeah, I work on weekends now. The hours are split up throughout the day too. Yeah, you can always keep on learning new skills that you can use every day. Exactly. And that's my point, is that you can even have students that are career students, but the condition would be that they have to participate in a college school board where they help other students that are interested in certain fields that they've already studied. Do you get what I'm saying? There is a way to make this education-wise, because everything, I don't care if you're the cop in the street that I expect to be the knight in shining armor. That's how I look at cops. You should be the knight in shining armor. Judge not thee for the splinter in my eye, if there is a log in thine own. I hold police as that. Okay, and there's probably people who will argue with me, but I am saying, if you are in control and the watcher and the protector of our society, then you should be held as high as the Lord in his basic of most sayings, in my opinion. And it's not a religious thing. I'm saying those are words of wisdom. Look not at the splinter in my eye when there's a log in your own. Seriously, and I hate to bring religion into this, but those are parables that people can understand. And I want them to know that this is what's really going on in this country. It's hypocrisy, and we need to really stop this at the root, because we are a collective. We are the masses. We are the 300 million strong. And I know in the world, as far as Europeans go and European races, as well as like some of the other races that are here in our country, yes, blacks, Hispanics are minorities in this country, but they're not minorities in the world. Okay? The Irish, the English, the Scottish, we are a minority in the world. We're the smallest number. And it's a fear thing. Okay, I can even excuse why our coats and cloaks on the hill decide to stir the mud in foreign countries, because it comes back to that. It's a survival thing. If you stir the mud of the foreign power that's got more numbers than you, then even with your technology, you know logically you're outnumbered, because there's only so much technology per manpower. So they can eventually get to your base and take out your freaking communications and whatever. So it's more logical for us as a nation to go to other countries where we find a threat and stir the mud so that they fight amongst each other in the aristocratical way so that they can't formulate one power against us. But at the same time, when you say ISIS, a self-proclaimed state, okay, dude, when you say ISIS, a self-proclaimed state with disgust in your mouth, all I think of is the America, a self-proclaimed country. We stole our country from our masters who were enslaving us for debt and for crimes. America was founded on criminals that rose up and fought against England, which later followed Australia. We were a debtor's prison. So for us to pass judgment on a people, like right now, if our tyrannical government of corporate bankers that control everything used our military against us and marched through the streets, it would be in the streets of towns that the soldiers of that brigade do not come from, because they want them to kill people they don't know. Well, the thing is, soldiers and police, is that they're doing that in other towns with cops of other people to take on your family and relatives that they don't know. Don't fall a victim to the lie. So the concept here is that we cause these disturbances overseas to protect ourselves and further ourselves from them organizing against us. But when you think about it, ISIS, the self-proclaimed state, America is a self-proclaimed country. Wherever you hear such words, that is a people rising against a tyranny of one sort or another, of imperialism. We happen to be in an oligarchy, and everyone knows it. And, you know, it's not going to end until we all just stand up 1 million to 1 and say, you know, it's over. That's...
Well, that made just about as much sense as a giraffe driving a Volkswagen. You're listening to Beer 420.
And that, my friend, was No More War by Steely James, and honestly, it brings tears to my eyes. I love you guys. No, seriously. We need to come together as a collective. We're a people that are oppressed. Democratic, Republican, they're all under the same black council. So we need to recognize that and recognize that we can take our dollar back. We can not persecute the Fed. We can punish them, but I say pull the Fed back, keep them in place. Like I said earlier on the Beer 420 show, pull the Fed back, hold them accountable, but then make them negotiate with the companies that they deal with. And if they have shady dealings with those companies they deal with, and those companies refuse to bend to the public will of the people of the United States, then we boycott them as a nation. Those companies. So the companies themselves, the corporations, also need to be held accountable. And that's on a basis of, individual to individual. So however they deal with that one individual, we hold that accountable. And whatever treaties they come with that one individual that is in office holds to every individual they're communicating with office. So, and I say that in the way of the best agreement in which comes to the favor of the people of the United States. We need jobs here. The world needs solar. We have the capability to make solar plants where we're building solar panels and we're selling them to the world, making the world economical, making the world glow and shine with the light that it was meant to be. And through this, we can end poverty, we can end homelessness, we can end the power grid situation. The oil companies are not going to get ixnayed. We still need those resources for other things. So I'm not talking about ixnaying the oil industries. I'm saying is that cross-balancing the resources from one point to the other so that we're not having to use as much of the oil resource.
I personally, you're always talking about how you're not for the total ixnaying of it. But when it comes to oil, hell yeah, hemp takes care of it. You would never need to use a drop of freaking petroleum again if we legalized hemp. Never. There would never be 1 ounce of drilling needed.
Okay.
Nothing.
And I agree with you on certain levels of that, but I would also say that there are certain sub-sciences that we need oil and oil refinery for. And, some of those are classified, but I'm saying that
there's nothing
there's
that
more
oil
potential.
does.
No. There is actually more in the potential of oil than what they're using it for presently. And there's research going on about that. But my point is, yes, the bulk, the majority, and all these areas that are, but you gotta understand, if you regulate oil back on that level, and then we replace and we get our fuels going in a more solar standard and a more hemp standard, per se, we don't have to oil mine areas that are in danger. And then those few oil fields that are available that aren't going to harm critical areas of the nature and environment are going to become more high value than the oil that it is already. So, in order to sell the oil barons, I am telling them that 1/3, 1/10 of your oil reserve collection facility and locations that you have right now will become worth the value there plus of the entire oil fields that you already have in place that are destroying the earth. So my point is that you have to make a compromise. You can't just ixnay something when somebody has a livelihood on an industry. That would be like coming to me as a cartoonist and saying, you know what, Stephen Ravenfeller, we already got enough political cartoonists. We need you to just not political cartoon anymore and Sharpie because we got enough of those guys. How about you just blah, 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 and I don't know how to do that.
This is how you do this.
So I'm saying 1/3 to 1/10 minimum, and 1/10 even, I'm talking about 100 to triple-fold, 100% to triple-fold is the potential
Okay.
of the oil price that you're looking at right now, and it'd be coming from exclusive buyers. So,
Okay, this is
but
my
that's me.
argument
That's me.
on
Because,
that. This is my rebuttal to that.
okay.
All right?
All right. You rebuttal.
My rebuttal is you start shutting all those refineries down, you make oil products obsolete, and those oil barons then take their money and invest it into hemp and become the hemp baron.
But that's what I'm saying, so that they don't have to eliminate.
It is a slow process.
But that's what I'm
I'm
saying
not
is
saying
that.
cut it off right immediately 100%.
But my point here is
that
that there is an industry that we do need, and it is yet to be unfolded, that does come from the oil industry, but it is not something that would consume even 100th or even 1,000th, I would say, of the oil that we're consuming now. So what I'm saying is it would turn black gold back into actual black gold, not just $50 a barrel. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
And so if they shorten down their drill areas into safe areas and they quarantine the fucking place like it's Fort Knox, like not a fucking drop of this gold is getting out of this motherfucking sanctuary. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And then they create the habitat preservation groups right there on site. So we take the hate from PETA and we put them in the oil rig. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, you
Now,
just lost me when you said put PETA in the oil rig.
PETA, okay, the ones that PETA's just one of many that attack them for oil slicking everywhere. Right. You put them and the scientists that save wildlife and are preservation of wildlife
in charge of it.
They've got a command office in that facility.
Okay, all right.
So then that way, when the shit hits the fan, that's the first one the foreman's calling. Barbara, we got a problem. And then, boom, she's on it, and they contain it right away.
Right.
They've got all of their reserves. The shit is,
Well, my brain just can't wrap around that we will always have to have oil when we have something that oil forced out of the economy to take over to begin with that was already there.
There are very fine things that we can do with oil that we can't do with any other substance, but like I said, it's blacklisted. It's not something we can talk about on air.
And if it's a military thing, then it just needs not to exist anyway.
Well, that's not true. Because even if we go beyond the human spectrum of our species, this is just an island in space, and any logical human being knows that an island in space is the same as an island in the Caribbean. There's people that are evolved and less evolved, thus aliens evolved and less evolved.
I can understand that.
That will make us victims unless we have weapons to defend ourselves. So
yes, but however, we have better fuels already in place.
It's not about fuel.
Weapons.
It's not about fuel. So, anyway, we move on.
Yeah, because I can't know all the information, so I can't wrap my brain around it. You can't know all the
information, so you can't wrap your brain around it. But let's just call it a red book issue, and it's not a red book against the people, it's a red book against, enemies of the public. So, anyway, next thing I'd just like to point out is they just released the spacecraft that can go up from ground to space, like airplanes.
Oh, yeah.
Right. About 20 years ago, I already knew about a project like that. It was called the Aurora Project.
You told me about that.
And the Aurora Project was ground to space spacecraft manned back then. Now they don't have to be manned.
Yeah, they're automated.
So they can shuttle shit. But you can also have it manned. And what it was, the basis of Earth defense against alien. The only defenders against... No, listen to me. The only defense of planet Earth up to 20 years ago that I know of up to now, because I'm a little out of the loop, because my buddy is not any longer in communication with me, and I've been hunting for him, and I can't find him.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah. The point here is that the Aurora Project was the only Earth defense, which meant the United States was the only ground-to-space attack defense force in case we were invaded by aliens that we could affect in space.
Or we had an asteroid or something coming in.
Or an asteroid and they needed to shoot it. Like asteroids, which is fucking crazy.
Right, or
because once you get down to like the subphysics, the quantum physics shit, you go out into space and this big ass asteroid's coming at you. You shoot a fucking nuclear attack at it.
It bounces it just enough.
It's gonna bounce that fucking thing just enough that it's gonna throw it off course from hitting us, and that's all it takes is one ground to space vehicle.
Yeah.
With a rocket. One.
That
that's all
an explosion
that makes an explosion in one spot because that's how gravity in zero gravity works.
It's a thruster.
It's a thruster, basically.
Yeah.
And it would send it off course. And I wouldn't doubt, and like I said, I've been out of the loop, I am sure that the Aurora Project has been busy motherfuckers.
They've already stated that this last year that they'd be able to do that.
I think they've already been doing that. They've been knocking fucking shit from hitting us.
I think if they were doing that, they would be publicity. It'd be big time news.
That was black. Funding. That was black operations 20 years ago.
Maybe they were
still
doing
black
it for little
operations.
tiny things. But if there was something big heading this way, oh no, that should be all over the news. They would.
Well, that's
funding,
true. That's true.
Then
that's
the
true.
whole it would be.
That is true. That is true. If it was something massive. But still, I'm saying
that notoriety, the whole world
I can almost guarantee 150% that the Aurora jump jets is what they were calling them, the Aurora Project. The Aurora jump jets were already even practicing on getting meteorites, small asteroids, whatever.
Space debris
from impacting the Earth, and that's part of their training.
Yeah.
And whoever you guys are, because I don't even know who the fuck you are. Thank you.
Right.
Because that training is like, whew. But you're the protectors of fucking Earth. That is amazing. Now, speaking of that, and I'm sorry, we haven't gotten to the Cannabis Restoration and Protection Act or the police with cams. And
it's okay. We're on a good roll.
But anyway, what was I was talking about the Aurora Project. Something about thank yous. Okay, I lost it.
And how that they were probably taking out small objects and they can take out big objects now and
and you have been the saviors of the world in training is what I'm saying. So now they got your jets in modification where they can like fly up there on their own robotically, which is fucking amazing. Which means we could even robotically control drones that can go into space and defend us, which is amazing because we could make an entire fucking army of those things and we would be defended to the teeth. And in the chance...
I think they're working on that.
And in the chance of XYZ that they have one with a nuke on it, can just like fly into those motherfuckers and maybe take them out. Because that's the thing, you know, if you're an island in space, you gotta understand that there's pirates out there, there's fucking... We don't have the technology to see some of their shit, and we do to see some of the other shit. And some of it's just blatant in our eyeballs.
I have to
we see spaceships over our fucking head and in our eyes, you know?
Well, what about
so they're not even got the cloaking capability. They're just like, fucker, look at me. What
about the
They're
organics?
not even cloaking, you know?
Have you seen the organics? Have you seen the organics? From the space station and the shuttles, they have taken pictures of organic life form floating in space that are basically like giant fucking snakes and just
amoebas
and shit that, you know, under the microscope, but except for they're like feet fucking long. I mean, if they're seeing shit like that, imagine how small we really, really are.
Wow.
Did you not know about the organics? It's led to a lot of the stories about, you know, giant living creatures in space that live in space. has been based off of what our astronauts have seen.
Wow. That's amazing.
The snakes, the proteins. They call them proteins, some of them. I think they're proteins.
Right.
I don't know. I'm really
But
high.
they're under
Sorry.
such immense pressure into the ocean.
Right, well, and in space, it's like the opposite.
But I'm saying, like, imagine a creature under the ocean that's under such immense pressure that
And they're,
over evolution, it phases into our reality as a fucking living being. Because we're all just energy.
well, but what if
It
we are...
evolves, is what I'm saying.
What if
Like,
we,
all of a sudden it just goes...
What if,
And now this fucking floating fucking praying mantis
but what if,
of a man of war is just floating through our fucking neighborhood, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck is that thing? And we think it's an alien, but it's actually from the ocean that evolved under pressure so long that it, like, came to our level of pressure.
right,
You get what I'm saying? Like being squeezed out of one tube
Right.
into another.
yeah. Well, yeah, they found shit.
But I'm a huge fan of quantum physics.
Oh, I am
and,
too.
you know,
Theoretical physics.
So yeah,
My thing.
theory,
Theory.
quantum
I
theory.
can't do the mathematical equations. You can
Right.
fuck off.
My belief
But I
about
love that
what's your
yeah.
belief about
Right.
the particle accelerator area? What is your thought about that?
Well,
Chernobyl.
well,
was
that's
the
a
first.
big bounce.
That was Chernobyl was actually the first housing of the first particle accelerator.
And things still can't live there except for plants.
And it's a giant dome-shaped crater.
Yeah.
Exactly even, down to the molecule. So, the thing that I say is that they got the particle going so fast that they wanted to double it upon itself. That was what they were trying to do. They're trying to double the same molecule in its same space. And when those two touched, I think it just touched the universe, and it just sucked a dome space chunk of everything. That whole factory is just floating in deep space somewhere. Like they opened a wormhole.
Well, very
That's my
possibly,
theory.
because, that's kind of what the Hadron
And
Collider is
it's highly
about.
nuclear or radioactive.
Oh, you
And
can't
that's
live there
because
now.
of
No.
that's because of how they initiated such an act.
Anybody that tries to live in that
Um,
area becomes sick. If they have children there, they're highly deformed and...
So what about police? Do you think police should have cameras on them?
Oh, most definitely. It
Now,
is.
does that not just protect the public, but it also protects them, right?
Yeah, it does. It's
Then, because
two
I know
and three.
personally from being on the street and being homeless, or I've been there.
Yeah.
There's some crazy motherfuckers.
Right.
I've been blindsided by dudes out of nowhere. Like,
Well,
they're
and
fucking
they're-
crazy.
And they totally are. And if you have
So-
multiple officers on a scene, which
Right.
is when they usually have, you're talking
Right.
issues.
And I'm not saying I'm
You
pro-officer or pro-citizen, but I'm saying that I actually am pro-officer myself.
I'm pro everybody.
But
Unfortunately, I can't find
I
too many
believe
good
that
officers anymore.
should be holding themselves to that higher standard of a
Right.
cavalier or a knight of King Arthur's court.
And we lost that 30 years ago.
And that needs to come back because, like, the Billy Bobs, who are they? The Bobbers in England.
Yeah.
They take down fucking armed people, even people with illegal weapons, with no fucking shot fired. They just fucking...
They don't have nothing.
It's like they're velociraptors. Now, to me, that's more of an honorable fucking officer that can take down a motherfucker with a gun without even that stupid ass firing a shot because you're a ninja.
Exactly.
You and your fucking buddies are such ninjas that there is no fucking way the three of you are going to be taken out. So the first officer encounters a guy. What happens? Small engagement.
Yeah. He backs off.
Code word sub-language on the radio that has nothing to do, like,
with what's going on.
he's like, we're just here talking about and make it a food item, for example. He just said that, he hasn't eaten anything today. And, I just came back from eating pizza at Quiznos.
Yeah.
Make it all casual.
Yeah.
And the perp is gonna be like, what the fuck? Cops all like, what the fuck is pizza? And like, what the fuck? So it's the idea of like passing on keywords, just like Native Americans helped us in Japan
with
and
the
you know,
talkers,
right?
Yeah.
And then what you do is you use this type of subwords. I'm not saying that's what they would do. I'm saying that's an example.
Yeah.
And then what would happen is at that point the squad has already been alerted. They're like, okay, this guy needs 2 guys minimum backup. So they talk to each other in a radio and go, this is Bob's, car 23. I'm going to go assist. And, and Robert, this is Robert, 68. I'm going to go assist. He's been talking to me about this. I got to check it out for myself. And they go back over there. The guy's got a gun and he starts to freak out. And they engage in conversation in a way.
Yeah.
They've got him engaged in a conversation in a way that when the other squad officers show up, one shows up to subterfuge the crowd. I'm teaching aristocracy backwards. This is a good way to use it.
Yeah.
This is how to formatively use aristocracy, a separation of people.
Yeah.
You send in the second officer to diffuse the immediate surroundings and cause even further diversion. And that's when Cop 3, out of nowhere, takes a perp down. He's got him. He's disarmed with a gun. Disarmed.
Yeah.
And that's how they do it over there.
Yeah.
Because when you're drunk, you're fucked, you're high, whatever, you're just emotional. You're not thinking logically.
A lot of them are mentally ill.
You're not thinking logically.
Yeah.
So if they're not thinking logically, you already have the upper hand if you don't be as mental as they are.
Yeah.
So if you're not as mental as they are, you've got the upper hand.
Okay.
And you've now taken down a guy with a gun, and none of you even fired a shot, and you all just had some idle conversation.
Yeah.
And they do it all the time in England.
And help somebody. They get them help.
Yeah, and then they get them help.
They don't
institutionalize them.
No, well, I mean,
they get them help.
They still hold them.
They'll hold them, but they will get them help and help guide them in the right direction so that they can be a productive citizen. Because I'm a conservative, motherfuckers. A productive citizen is tax money, okay? And we need tax to fund the state and the Fed. So I would rather have a fucking country full of productive taxed citizens than a country full of fucking retards that a select few are getting money from.
But
and the thing is, it's propagated from the inside, so they're creating the retardedness.
The conservative, democratic, socialist countries are doing just that.
But you don't have to be a democratic, socialist country to incorporate those ideals. Because, hold on, ladies and gentlemen, freeze it, zip it, Alice. Ethel.
No, that could have been...
Zip it, Ethel! Zip it, Edith! God damn it, zip it, Edith! If we could squash it down, squash the whole mush down. Okay, just squash it down.
Squash it down.
What were we talking about?
So you lost me with the whole yelling at me, calling me names.
So we both lost.
Yeah.
We're fucked.
We're fucked.
We're fucked. Here's some Steely James. It's black gold. You heard some Steely James earlier. Go check him out. Like and love it. Yeah.
Drilling holes for the oil till the earth said no more. Fill the ocean with oil. Wipe us off of the earth. Drilling holes for the oil till the earth said no more. Fill the ocean with oil. Let them have all that black gold, and black gold, and black gold, and black gold, and black gold, black gold, and black gold, black gold, and black gold, black gold. No. Could have gone green, could have grown hemp for fuel, but the government enforces their rules. Couple 100 years ago, we was riding horses to and fro. Where did we get this here information? I'd really like to know who said they thought it'd be cool to go drilling holes in the earth, thinking only of the worth. Well, it ain't worth much to me when there's no more fish to eat. Where did we get this information? Drilling holes for the oil till the earth said no more. Fill the ocean with oil, wipe us off of the earth. Drilling holes for the oil till the earth said no more. Fill the ocean with oil. Let us have all that black gold, and the black gold, black gold, and the black gold, black gold, and black gold, black gold, and the black gold, black gold. No, 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 no. Could have gone green, could have grown hemp for fuel, but the government enforces the rules. Couple 100 years ago, we was riding horses to and fro. Where did we get our information? Now we got satellites and space stations reaching out to destinations, taking in the clues they gave us. They've only quickly led to failures. Start a series of events to bring about a bitter end. And did we get this information? Here we go, drilling holes for the oil till the earth said no more. Fill the ocean with oil, wipe us off of the earth. Drilling holes for the oil till the earth said no more. Fill the ocean with oil. Let us have all that black gold, and a black gold, a black gold, and a black gold, a black gold, and a black gold, a black gold. No, 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 no.
Well, that made just about as much sense as a giraffe driving a Volkswagen. You're listening to Beer 420.
No, you're not. You're listening to Political Scream.
All right.
Welcome to Political Scream.
I have a response to someone in our chat, Matthew. He says, Ninja Cops, yeah. Well, Ninja Cops is right. I personally want every cop to be extensively trained, and they have to continue their training through their entire career of jiu-jitsu and other stuff.
Every week they go to a class for a couple hours, they learn some discipline and self-control.
And moves to be able to disarm, use
and the sensei, the master, is also a reporter. You know, he is expected to go to a chain of command and go, I see that, Danson Danielson is really having bad time, emotional state. You may want him to talk to HR representative.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I mean,
or have him come to me.
That's
see his
kind of
private
racist.
session on weekend.
That's kind of racist.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so back
that's
on
where
topic.
it came from.
I know, but
that's where it came from.
But not.
It came from Asia.
I know, but not everybody that teaches that stuff is Asian.
The strong ones, yeah.
Well, not in this area, unfortunately.
Unless they're Americanized and they've been here a while.
A lot of what
Don't tell me who's high up in the dojo ladder. I know who's who.
Dojos and...
Don't be checking me.
Well...
Don't be checking me. I've been to competitions. You've been to competitions?
Yeah, actually I have watched them.
Did you participate in
them? No, my
then
first
shut
husband
the fuck
did.
up and keep moving on. Because you're a woman, you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know the dojo around here.
Boom, boom!
Fuck off.
You opened that proverbial egg, now didn't you?
Now, anyway, back to what I was talking about.
Aha!
Soft martial arts and the police.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I have been to competitions. I have observed a lot. So fuck off on that you're a woman shit.
My ex-wife was second place
I know what she
champion of Iowa, and she could never win because she was a woman.
And
even though she kicked the frickin' shit out of guys,
and
kicked the shit out of them.
And my late husband was a short, round little guy that had multiple black belts and shit, and I went to his fucking demonstrations and his fights and stuff. So I've been exposed. I may not participate, but I've been exposed.
Well, you know, Matthew Richards said, Kung Fu accent, good job, Stevenson. You got the point. You know, any good sensei would get a crack out of that.
Oh,
Go like, that's so funny. Oh, that's Steven. He was okay. I'll never go to cage fight. You big pussy. Yeah, I'm too old now. I get broken.
But the point is, I was trying
don't tell me where my origins come from. Anyway, don't correct me. Go on about what you're talking about.
I'm trying to keep us on track.
You're get us off track by bringing me back to the track that you were off track to begin with. So stop.
You stop.
Okay, no, you stop. I believe that police should be paying for their own insurance so they think twice before pulling their gun. Because financial responsibility for your family and your future, if everyone's forced to get insurance, you should be getting your own insurance.
Yeah, a type of bonding.
But don't get me started with insurance, because I feel that anyone that is in public office should be offered only the same insurance as what welfare recipients are given. And if they don't like it, then they should change it.
Well, there's that too.
And if they don't want it, they can buy their own, because they make $100,000, $200,000 a year, and they can more than afford their own insurance. So that's my opinion. If you make the politicians' insurance the same policy as those on welfare, the ones that have to rely on it because they have investments, then they will move to change and make it better. So if you do that internally, it will force them to make better insurance for everybody, put them on the same insurance. Right. I also believe that every politician should be capped to an income salary if they're in a salary position, to the average yearly income of their constituents in their zone. Right. So if their constituents make $10,000 a year, that's what they're making. They want to make more money, bring better jobs to the community.
Exactly.
Cops need to be paying their own insurance.
Yeah.
Because it makes them accountable. You're not going to ride out around the neighborhood like an 18-year-old that's got his insurance paid by his parents if you're paying it yourself. Common sense. And common sense is lacking in this society right now. It's something we all need to help each other with. If there's something your friend is doing that doesn't quite make sense, you need to speak to them.
Yeah.
You need to say to them, hey, XYZ doesn't really add up. Did you really think this formula out? Because I see devastation. Because, like I said earlier on the show, we're all connected.
We are.
And if you don't connect with one another and you don't look out for one another, then there is no common sense. Common sense comes from community.
Yeah. That's
the origin of the word. Common sense comes from community. It's come from your friends, your peers. They're saying, no man, you just told me that this girl offered to like hang out with you if you gave her $100 and went to this hotel room where her and all these other 3 guys are hanging out that just want to hang and get some beer. Probably not a good idea to do that all by yourself and alone. You probably want to bring some buddies with you, because it sounds like you're already outnumbered and they're going to beat you up, mug you, and take your credit card. And then if you don't answer their questions about the PIN number, they're going to beat you up until you die.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not going with you.
Right.
I loaned my gun to my buddy who's got a legal conceal and carry, and he was going to some shady business, and I'm not armed. So, no.
Deuces.
Peace out, bro. You're on your own. You're on your own, bro. like conceal and carries in someone else's legal case. So, police should be paying for their own insurance.
Yeah, no.
It prevents corruption.
It takes care of them and their families.
It takes care of them and their families in the sense of harm. And we should offer better policies for police than the general public.
Well, yeah, definitely.
I believe that the policies for police that are available, they have to pay for. But I also believe in police raises. I'm saying I believe in police raises because that will lower the need for them to rape, rob, and steal, or have an excuse to rape, rob, and steal, and do that whole possession of property thing, which I think should be banned everywhere. You should not be able to take any property from a tax-paying citizen or someone on any kind of state service with a social security number. You should not be able to take their personal possessions ever. They are a tax ID. You cannot touch them. You cannot touch their possessions without legal warrant or otherwise. And that goes for you. That goes for any mentally handicapped person. That goes for the sick, the elderly, everybody on the planet. Children. You cannot take from them without sign and signature and agreement. And if you do, it is a crime. I don't care who you are, what station you hold. And if you're aiding and abetting stealing in such a way, I hate to say it, but in the eyes of a logical, overall spiritual knowledge that we all have, we're not idiots. We know right from wrong. You know when you feel bad when you're doing something. I don't care who you are. You could even be a pig fucking, child murderer. When you do it, there's that moment where you reflect and you're ignoring it. And that moment is humanity. And you're ignoring your own humanity. And I believe that if you ignore your own humanity, crimes against children under the age of 14, because 14 and up and hormones and 18-year-olds and all that is a fucking hotbed that we don't even want to play with. Teen, to me, is teen. You leave the teens to the teens. If they're 19 to 14, 13, whatever, that's you being a better parent.
Yeah.
That's not on the teenage kid that's trying to get laid because he's a teen.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
That's what they're both doing. That's what they're both doing.
Yeah.
Whether she's 13,
the learning
19,
is in the community.
Yeah.
So if she becomes a prude and learns how to be a prude, then the teen with the horn dog syndrome gets nowhere. And that problem ends.
Yeah.
It's over. We don't have to ostracize teenagers and ruin their whole life on something stupid. What we need is guidance.
And that goes both ways. I mean, even for the horn dog
we need to have more. We need to have more public teen functions, events.
Oh no,
where
totally.
Seniors in the community show how couples interact. Show them. That's what the Mormons and the fucking folks in the woods do. Furniture, cheese, Amish. I love them to death. I even thought about surrendering the world and surrendering my soul to the Amish. But no, they're so Puritan. They're so Puritan. You, as a disturbed teen, could go and be playing with matches in a barn and burn it down. They don't ostracize you. They go and they build the barn and they teach you the matches and what it did. The whole community had to come together to rebuild this because they burned it down.
Well, there's a lot of shaming.
But in that way.
Right.
They're saying, look.
The whole time they're rebuilding it,
we had to rebuild.
They're shaming it.
We had to rebuild.
Yeah.
They shame you.
Yeah.
You're shunned.
You're shunned.
But they don't shun you as a community member. They shun you on the incident. They shun you
on
the act.
As soon as they're done rebuilding the barn, they're done shunning you.
What does that kid do? Did they ever play with matches in the hay barn again?
Probably not. Good
No.
chances he doesn't.
Yeah, because the community is so well balanced that
Well, I know when I was a kid, humiliation was my biggest deterrent. My mom would threaten me with, if you act like these other kids in the store and scream and throw a fit and grab shit off
I'm
the
going to
shelf.
show a naked picture of you or a picture of your underwear on the bulletin board in school.
No.
My mom threatened that.
My mom threatened.
And I listened.
No, my mom threatened to whoop my ass in front of God and everybody, and she didn't care who saw. She would whoop my ass right there in the middle of the store out. She never had to. The threat of her whooping my ass in front of a store full of strange people,
and knowing damn well that she's going to at least get a lick or two in before you struggle away.
Exactly.
Is a devastation as a teen.
No, I was
and
like a
I
little
would have
kid.
to say that I give extreme props to the mom, and everybody in the right wing is slamming her for being a grandma. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, you can only control so many of your children.
Right.
And a woman in this society is a victim. So for a woman, especially a black woman, to find a man that she keeps putting her trust in that just gets her knocked up with no condom and leaves her, that's not her.
Yeah, that's him.
And that's a lot of what goes on in the black community, and that's a lot of what goes on in the white community. You know, that kind of...
I know, I saw that.
That kind of odds is like insurmountable. So again, we can avert all of this by creating open small communities and even have a police officer there. It would be fucking epic. Have a frickin' fireman there and an EMT. Someone from every profession. Have a doctor there, mingling with the teenagers.
Yeah. And
going, hey, what are you doing? What are you guys, you know? And then they're like, who are you? Oh, you're Mr. Bubba. Wow, you're a doctor? See, it's learning through our peers.
Yeah.
And if we put more educated people into more social functions with our teenagers, they will stop being derelicts. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
They'll stop being derelicts.
Yes.
Because they will then attain to be those figures that everyone is gabbling and gobbing about in the crowd at their social functions. So you want to do some brainwashing, do it in the positive sense, and make our society, like I said, we as a society right now, we have the wealth to not only wipe out hunger and wipe out homelessness, but also those same people, so many millions of people, would be willing to work in industry and stuff, building solar panels and healthy green alternatives. And it's okay to make a little gas in the air if we're like trying to do it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't mind a little CO2s in the air if we're trying to make panels, you know, to get them everywhere. Because what little fraction of the chemical that we're throwing out versus what we were and what we are going to be is a greater thing. And I believe there should be garden movements and green movements where people will learn how to grow gardens on the roof of their houses. You can even take your modern house in suburban America, cover your shingles with plastic, box in your box fences, and it will hold the weight of the dirt to grow plants and vegetables and all that shit on. You can even have gardens incline planed on your roof. I mean, and it would actually grow better than any other garden that you've ever had because it's got that dias system, the dias, where it trickles down. You know, it will flourish because it's like now like the bush of your house. You're like a garden tree, you know. So, I mean, any house in America could be outfitted with that kind of thing and become self-sustainable. And it could be a viral thing where instead of not only exchanging conversations on our smartphones and our internet social tools, but we're also exchanging fruit and vegetables from like long distances, and you know, it'd be frickin' amazing. It'd bring me to tears.
There are some communities that have been building that.
But I'm saying we could make all that happen.
Yeah.
We could make that all happen. You can put the people that you're putting into the housing, XYZ, PDQ, the ones that can or cannot, function enough to work in factories to pay back to the system that we're helping them in. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how that works, is like, you're at the bottom of the barrel, okay, you're working XYZ, we're taking 1X% of your income, and it's feeding back into this, just,
I'll be right back. I have to.
Oh my God, I've been cut off by my women. Pig fuckers, stop and reflect on the moment. The Kung Fu accent. No, seriously, man, it's about training. I used to be very violent. Like, you could just, say something stupid, like some stupid word at me, and I would smash you in the face. And it's about discipline. So, once I learned discipline and how to articulate between actual aggression, action feelings, and just feelings in general, then I stopped smashing people in the face, because it was over a length of time that those kinds of events would happen, and it wouldn't take many conflicts. I think it was 3 or 4 that I had to retaliate against somebody, and I felt guilty about it, even though they were the aggressor. And it was at that point that I learned how to detain them so much that they humiliated themselves. And then I didn't have to feel bad that I broke their nose or, whatever. So yeah, it was better for me as a Buddhist at the time to be able to incorporate passive-aggressive form of getting even the most hostile, even if he outweighed me, off of me, and detain him. I had a 250-pound guy pinned with 3 fingers on the cement, and he kept spinning and shaving his own ear off. Like, I was screaming at him the whole time, quit spinning, you're shaving your own ear off, because he was that drunk. And he kept spinning, and he did. He shaved like 3 or 4 layers of his ear off. He had a bandage on his ear for a while, and scarring, whatever. But no, seriously, I warned him the whole time. So, and people caught it on their phones, and that was back in the 90s. They caught it on video. Which is why I was not found guilty. I warned him the whole time. Quit spinning, you're shaving your own ear off. He attacked me, and I said, don't get in my face, man. Don't, da 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 da. And he outweighed me by 100 pounds. I'm like 150, 160, depending on if I took a turd, And he jumped at me, and I 3-finger snake bit him in his neck, and I dropped into the ground instantly, upside down, with his body facing the ground, like I just pushed somebody to the wall, and he was spinning around on his ear trying to get out from under my 3 fingers, because I know Denmark a little bit, like they never teach you at all, because, and no, I won't teach you, but that's my ultimate defense against all things foreign and domestic. But the point is that I warned him over and over, and they got it on tape, that I kept warning him. And then when he was spinning, it went to court. Yeah. When he was spinning, he was shaving his own ear off, and I kept telling him, because I'm a sentient being, dude. I really don't want to hurt you. Really don't. I'd rather communicate than hurt you. But if you're going to bring harm to my person, I'm going to fuck you up. And then if you fuck yourself up more, I'm going to tell you you're doing it. So that, someone is filming it. They at least know that I'm like giving you warning, like, okay, are you going to stop? No? Okay, and you're spinning. Dude, you're spinning. You're shaving your ear off. Just please say you're going to stop. Quit spinning. And, anyway. I'm not some Billy Badass anymore. I'm old. But, Here's Steely James, No More War, and we'll get to what Julia has to say because, you know, we only got like 103 minutes left. No more of that. No more bullshit. Oh, I'm fucking done. Not a helicopter and an alien ship trying to fucking get me. Oh, that was a jet plane.
Well, that made just about as much sense as a giraffe driving a Volkswagen. You're listening to Beer 420.
No, you're not. You're listening to Political Scream. Now, this is supposed to be ending prohibition and po-po accountability, and I got so distracted on the state of the nation, which is what this should be called. And I'll be changing it to that, State of the Nation. And we'll be making another show, but I won't change this name until we make the other show. Yeah. It's called this. And then I'll call this one State of the Nation. And,
we'll keep that one on topic.
Right. We'll keep that one on topic. And it'll be called State of the Nation and How to Fix It. Because there are a lot of good answers in here. And one of the last things that I would say is that fuck the illegal immigrant argument. The illegals are here. They're not stealing your jobs. They're mainly taking jobs that people don't want, like farming mainly. Outside of the few construction and roofing jobs. And, you know, once they're on tax, who knows? They might quit their job and you'll become the foreman. So, what I suggest is go to where the Fed already knows there's illegals and offer them visas. They can stay here and work for 2 years for a chance of citizenship with an American English test. Because you're in America, we speak English here. We defected from England, so we speak English. We defected from England, and then we killed the Indians and took Spanish-Mexican land. Yeah. When it was owned by the Spanish, not by the Mexicans. See, that was the mistake. If you hadn't let the Spanish push their way into the Texas area, then, you know, we wouldn't have an excuse. But anyway, so my point here is that everyone that's working in the United States that is considered Mexican illegal or other country, Korean, Japanese, whatever, we know who you are. We really do. So we'll come to your employer and we'll say, this is blah, 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 blah Act. And this means you are protected under the Constitution of the United States that you have been employing, and we have evidence thereof, of this perforation of our system. And put them on these visas and turn over all your employees. And when they turn over all their employees, they go on a visa. They now are eligible for whatever services anyone else is under their social security number. They now have a visa. This is basically their social security number. And we create an entire second social security number system, basically, which are working visa citizens. And then they can work themselves off of that tile into the full-blood American citizens tile by following certain legislation and criteria, passing tests. Honestly, I'm not going to go to France and try to be a French citizen, which is, I could appreciate that, without speaking French. That's, come on, have some respect. So, France never dictated France. In the United States, I could say, you're Mexican, Spanish, or Asian, whatever. We don't respect that America owns this country. We should be speaking Native American. Well, that's what I think. But no, it's common English. We call it common tongue. So, there's also other slang for it, but I won't tell you those. Needless to say, common tongue, so then they go on these visas and they can pay tax just like everyone else. We're losing about $3 to $4 billion a month from illegals that are not paying taxes because they're under the counter jobs. So those are businesses that are not reporting all those taxes. So technically they're criminals to the state of the people as a nation, that they're getting away with that. I would say, I don't want to ixnay anybody. You get what I'm saying? I mean, we're all just being puppeted along. I know this. We all know this. So let's just wake up from that and go, okay, we're going to start holding everybody accountable. And we just do that. To start holding everybody around you accountable for their actions. And from that, we can grow. We can make so many things happen for everybody in the world, not just the poor, but the rich. And seriously, this is what I say to the rich. In enforcing these kind of things where we take care of the bottom percent and make them strive through, okay, so we know in a hiccup we can take care of poverty and hunger. So in that hiccup of poverty and hunger, and the solution of poverty and hunger, you have lost no profit. That's just a fraction of your profit. Just off of that fraction of your profit, we can solve that problem. And I've got answers, so you can come hit me up. You know where I'm at. You already know who I am. Feel free. Mr. President, all of you, feel free. Anyway, so the idea here is that, with these sustainable communities that we build, we not only fill our power grid, we could start selling power back to other countries even. It's ridiculous. We prepare for devastation that our scientists tell us are about to happen, so that way we don't lose revenues from loss of life, taxpayers, aka citizens of the world, and also we don't lose invested industries and the like. So, it's very common sense stuff. Be like the old game Populous, actually look at the board. You guys seem like you ditched the board with all the things on it that they show in the movies. I know that some level of that intrigue is available to push profits, but you could actually push more profits by making those quests at the bottom, the education that they can get. If they decided they wanted to be this, that, or the other thing, they can just do it. If you could let them know they can just do it, then they wouldn't be on the bottom anymore. They'd be one of our top, like, analysts for metaphysics or, like, quantum physics or, astrology, astronomy, subatomics. I mean, there's so many fields. We need to give these people the opportunity because in every batch of babies there's a star child, and they could have some potential that we really need to fruitate, cultivate, and we need to do that to every child because every child right now compared to what our potential is could be 100, 200% more than what we are right now. And 100% is 100%, but in the act of like evolving and becoming more of a potent force for our entire nation. And like I said, I've said this in previous things, but I'm going to put this in this show because it's going to be renamed. And I didn't write it down. Yeah, I did. Anyway, is that the entire world, once we get ourselves off of the focus of poverty and the like, the rest of the children can focus on developing beyond that, which accelerates our species as a whole. And then, dependent on the inside of what the corporate, I'm not saying corporate, well, it would be corporate. It would have to be corporate sponsored, I'm sorry, for it to happen because the government, the federal government really doesn't have the money to make it happen. So it would have to be a corporate entity of some sort or multitudes of corporate entities that come together to build a sustainable community where the government can invoke itself and it launches like a mushroom, But if you build sustainable communities and they also have a central transit and traffic and emergency system, it would be like a potential utopia. Therefore, people would be striving more for higher levels of education, which would catapult all of us into the future. And you don't have to live just within the criteria of your certain field. If there could be graders of those fields that can make more and above and beyond the standard of the social economic chain, which can be based on the greenback of the value of that said community, which could be handled and manipulated by the global entities that are all interconnected to make those institutions happen. So it would be forms of collectives and your electronic vote system, all that would be on a rotation of a council, just like you have jury duty. So each community would have a rotation of like 6 or 13 people that would be shuffling in to learn the subsystems of a universal voting system that's just in your house, that you can go home from work and vote on bills and da 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 da, and national ones and global ones, whatever, and then go to work and do your thing and then talk to your buddies about it, whatever. But the point is that the main focal overseers of that system are a rotating staff of 13 some odd people, which makes 26 because you'd have the 13 that were in charge and 13 that are coming in. And it's like 30 days of learning the systems and then a rotating watchdog of certain proportions to oversee them to make sure, and it would be a public entity watchdog, so everybody could see that they're all being overwatched by the community as a whole, as a public, by camera and all that. So they have no access to any kind of utilities that would alter or change the system or frame it or the like. And the 13 coming in train the 13 going, the 13 going out, train the 13 coming in, and in the second month, the 13 are there alone, and then the third month, the 13 are training the next 13 to come in, and they're going out. So it's like you can build that balance system in every tight-knit community enclave and just make such a devastating impact on not only in the environment by having sustainable homes with plants and everything growing everywhere, vegetables, fruit, and there are people that come and collect those. Like your house is like a fruit tree, so the more things you grow on the side of your house, you get like a percentage of whatever under your credits every month, but there are people that come and harvest it for you. You don't even have to harvest the outside of your house. You would actually have to register to harvest the outside of your house and not have them come by, which I'm sorry for that, but you know, that's my point, is how sustainable the society would be, is that you would have to get permits not to gather from your own house because they're going to gather from your house. So there'd be no major misunderstanding. You just talk it out and it'd be over with and it'd stop coming. But I'm just saying that we want such a sustainable society that our houses are being harvested as fruit and vegetables. Our solar from all of our houses are going into the master grid and we're selling it to other countries. We want our technology to be bought and sold in other countries. See, then we become the superpower of the world once again. And our weapons of war with our space fleet, we can go from space to mid-space, whatever. So, defending the skies and seas and all that, that's still and policing is still our thing. But what you do is you take those select few that want to be the police of the world and be recruited out for police actions that are needed in areas of unrest, recruit themselves into groups, and then they get to pick from them. And they have criteria, so they have to work to the criteria to get into those groups, to go and be the police of the world, which is psychological, physical, blah, blah, blah. They'd be like special forces, but police special forces in other countries. And I'm not against that. I'm not against helping police areas of the world, but take the recruits that want to do that. There's plenty of them, and they'll go through the special training. You make them the police, and we make another branch, like call it like Blue Ops or something, you know, and it's Blue Operations. It's the ones that go for this country to be police of the world. And that money trickles back into the economy to everyone else too. So, I mean, there's ways of doing a lot of things that we do that you could trickle a little back to society, and society would be golden. Examples like in our foreign wars where there are oil and other exchanges of money and financial institutions, that could be trickle affected back to the American people. Those who have children in the service are getting a check, you know, once a month or whatever, for whatever incursion their children have been in, you know. It gives more than just a dead body at the end, you know, because a lot of these situations make us billions over time, and the parents get nothing but a dead box, you know. So, I mean, really, you know, it wouldn't be hard for these billion-dollar contracts to feed back to those who served and the families of those who served, and take care of our veterans, because they're the ones that are putting their life on the line for not only policing, keeping peace, withholding our democracies, but also going out and plundering when it needs to be, you know, being able to slaughter shitbags when they come across them. You know, they do that. That's stuff that you and I can't do. So that does happen. So don't think that I'm anti-government. I am far from anti-government. You know, there is shit that our people do that is necessary. And stirring the mud is necessary to a degree. We do it a little bit too much. But I do think that some of these monies that are coming from overseas interactions and conquering need to go back to the families that sacrificed their children in the line of service. And the children should never be dishonorably discharged. If they served one day, they've served 100 years. I don't care if they get whacked out and get kicked out. They should still be a soldier and declarated as such that they risk their life and time. And I say to prevent pilferers is that we have cameras up in all the training facilities so that, you know, I mean, there's ways of looking for those who are just milking the system. Like, I don't believe in welfare for moms popping out 6 kids that don't lock down. You know, I don't believe in that. I am a liberal and I'm a conservative, all wrapped in one. Can you believe that shit? How is that even possible? How is that even? It's a contradiction! It's a goddamn contradiction! I'll tell you what. And here's another contradiction. No, not really. Because Matthew Richards has been agreeing with me pretty much throughout. He says it took me a moment to get that MMWBL. That's much, much wicked backhand love. My accent is priceless. He was referring to the Asian guys earlier. Kung Fu accent. Good job, Steven. Good job, Steven, son. He's like, the pig fuckers stop to reflect on the moment. Yeah, exactly. You know, he's talking about police that are enraged, and I agree that you can be enraged about their enragement, but, you know, the point is it comes back to how we're disciplining everybody, not just police, but, like, how we're raising our kids in the schools, right? He says, damn, on something. We got, like, 102 minutes left. Sure. No, we're down to 82. He's like, holy fuck. He says, yeah, because people are politically correct. People are politically correct. And you know what? We need to hold everybody to a higher accountability.
There's only 3 types of people in the world. Backhanders, torch carriers, and stupid fucks. Which one are you?
It's Altered Minds. World War III. Coming at you. Man, I'm sorry. Shit, like, kind of hooks down. Anyway, you know, that was playing here. Check them out.
See, it's World War III. Biological warfare. Hold your breath. Don't breathe. I ain't trying to catch that whack status that you other dudes be at. World War III. Biological warfare. Hold your breath. Don't breathe. I ain't trying to catch that whack status that you other dudes be at. See, it's World War III when you fucking with me. My flow's so hot, there ain't even a degree. Check the pedigree, I'm the best, and I ain't gonna settle for nothing less. Vocal contamination, hold your breath. I'm everywhere you wanted to be, homie, check the press. You haters got this game a mess, so I had to come through and drop another Hiroshima, dude. No peace, I can't sleep. It's funny how you claim that you're mobbing with your peeps. I don't care, I put you underneath my feet. That's 6 feet deep, capiche? I am a dog without a leash. See, I'm back at it. Beef, fuck your whack status. You try to beat me, well that's the saddest excuse coming from you. Carpenter with no tool. How you supposed to accomplish what you came to do? I shut it down. Mr. King, where's your crown? It's on my head, I sport it now. Keep on fucking around and then it's blow. How you like me now? Spitting out rounds, but all it takes is one, yeah, to knock your ass down. I don't see what's so funny, I ain't a clown. I hold it down for my town. See, it's World War III. Biological warfare, hold your breath, don't breathe. I ain't trying to catch that whack status that you other dudes be at. See, it's World War III. Biological warfare, hold your breath, don't breathe. I ain't trying to catch that whack status that you other dudes be at.
nephew dropping Hiroshima, we be dropping Nagasaki. I'ma hit you with the fallout, take you out, so how you like me now? Take a deep breath, inhale what's in the air. I be leaving chemtrails while you just standing there and stare. So don't you come and try to challenge with your whack-ass rapper status, cause I'll get you on your knees and make you suck a phallus. Bitch, I'm all about the headshot, straight to the dome. Sniping at you amateurs and y'all don't even know. And now you wanna wage a third war on me? You better stand down, this ain't for children under 3. Impale you on a wooden beam and get out through your every scream. Dip my bread all in your blood and dance around so happily. Lyrical murder, yeah, verbal war 3. You're bringing out the animal, the beast that dwells inside me. So don't you even try to test me. Wave your flag, you don't impress me. Like the gift that I'm possessing, altered minds me now infecting.
See, it's World War III, biological warfare. Hold your breath, don't breathe. I ain't trying to catch that whack status that you other dudes be at. See, it's World War III, biological warfare. Hold your breath, don't breathe. I ain't trying to catch that whack status that you other dudes be at.
This is Rap Surge Strike, and we the Third Reich. Come to take over in the middle of the night. Sparking World War III, and we ready to fight. Grab your family, homie, and hold on tight, cause this might get crazy, simply insane. When we come through, knocking bitches out of the game. This hillbilly nigga, big as a gorilla, ain't afraid to see a little blood spiller. Literally and lyrically, you better watch your back. The demon's been let loose, and I'm ready to attack. I ain't trying to scare you, I'm just spitting fucking facts. Mentally and physically, I'll turn your life to black. Burning anything that is standing in our path. Biological warfare, you better grab your mask, cause this whack-ass status seems to travel fast, putting all kinds of faggots on blast.
I don't know. I think I'm cut off.
Oh, hey there, backhanders and torch carriers. How do you feel? How do you feel? It doesn't matter if you're on welfare, you work 9 to 5, right? All this government-mandated stuff, how do you feel? Our tax dollars fuel a system that uses our money to brainstorm how to make more money off our illnesses, forced insurance, and brainwashed assimilation. Don't fool yourself, people! Don't fool yourself! The global bank and the big money holders control everything all the way down. And you know what's weird? These people aren't even Americans.
As fast as you, Egyptians never walk like that. Seems they pledged their grievance there. Stars line with the Nile's eye. Missile scenes grown old and quiet. I gotta get to the Egypt riot. The Egypt riot. The Egypt riot. I gotta get to the Egypt riot. I feel oh so drained and tired. I gotta get to the Egypt riot. The Egypt riot. Right, I gotta get to the Egypt riot. Oh, come on, you know you want to, and notice you've nowhere to run to. You should all get on a plane, never to return again. Come on now, you can't deny it. You wanna go to the Egypt riot, the Egypt riot, the Egypt riot. It's all going down at the Egypt riot. Human shields and shotgun shells, fires burning hot as hell. Oh, and that's how you can tell the Egypt riot's going well.
and torch carriers. How do you feel? How do you feel? It doesn't matter if you're on welfare, you work 9 to 5, right? All this government-mandated stuff, how do you feel? Our tax dollars fuel a system that uses our money to brainstorm how to make more money off our illnesses, forced insurance, and brainwashed assimilation. Don't fool yourself, people! Don't fool yourself! The global bank and the big money holders control everything all the way down. And you know what's weird? These people aren't even Americans.
You there?
Yes, Paul?
Come here, boy. Your pa wants to talk to you.
I wasn't doing nothing with the chickens, Daddy.
We'll talk about that later, boy. Your daddy gotta go away, boy.
But, Daddy, what about your special garden and the hippies?
Now, you hush up now. Your daddy's going to war against dorks, Junior.
The dorks ain't so bad, Daddy.
You really want to live in a world ruled by the night manager of Arby's?
I'm scared, Daddy.
It's okay, boy. You don't gotta be scared. Because men like me are gonna unite together to ensure that we can grow our gardens in front of the shed and not behind them. We're gonna unite together as potheads, as one, to show the dorks once and for all that we are proud of who we are, and we are here to stay. That Spreaker is as much ours as it is theirs.
Daddy, I'm gonna club the seals just like you showed me.
That's good, boy. I know you will. Remember, 1 hit for the kill, 1 hit for the sound, 1 hit for the color.
Bye, Paul. I'll piss on the seat like you showed me to piss my off.
Sing one from the people. We don't want no unmanned police drones flying over our homes. We said it. We don't want no unmanned police drones flying over our homes. We said it. You better get together on hearing what the people want, yeah. You know it's time and time again to hear the people once again, yeah. So you better listen. We don't want no unmanned police drones flying over our homes. We said it. Police drones flying over our homes. We said it. What's next up on the block? You start making them robocalls. And pretty soon it won't be long. Computer chips in all our arms, yeah. We're gonna push back. You don't wanna be starting that now. Cause we're the people. If you're gonna push, well, we're gonna push back. You don't wanna be starting that now. Cause we're the people. If you're gonna push, well, we're gonna push back. You don't wanna be starting that now. Cause we're the people. We're gonna push back. You don't wanna be starting right now. Cause we're the people. You better get together on
take my gun, motherfucker. My gun, my neighbor's gun. You ain't taking my neighbor's gun, neither. I'll take your head off with a sword. But then, think about it. You outlaw guns. Okay, then what's gonna happen? Okay, like in Britain. Okay, so it's gonna be hammers and knives. People are gonna be eating with sporks, plastic sporks. And then it's gonna be rocks and sticks. And then what? Once you outlaw rocks and sticks, I mean, we're just gonna be on a big rock together, right? Just one big rock. Now one guy is saying, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't grab for it. Like, it makes no sense. Anyway, here's Ryan Krillick. We just listened to Steely James. Go check out Steely James. You're listening to Political Scream.
You're listening to Political Scream. And this is Ryan Krillick. When you're the rain, you cannot follow.
When you're the rain, you're always falling, climbing up again, waiting for the sun to take you higher to the cloud where you're not so alone, coming down the longest fall to the stillest stagnance, but you always roll on. Just over those hills, down in the holler, to the river that takes you home. Sometimes they take you, use you for what they need to drink, to wash, water down their seed. Sometimes you're frozen in time, hard and cold and still. For the sun again. When you're the rain, you're always falling, climbing up again. When you're the
Like I said, I'm not against the military. I'm against militarization, against the people. I want to thank Matthew Richards for being in our chat tonight. And thank you, man, for your interactions. And much appreciated. It's Political Scream. Listen in tomorrow night. This show is going to be retitled as State of the Nation and How to Fix It. Whereas tomorrow night we'll actually do Ending Prohibition and POPO Accountability. So tune in tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll be going to a How Nada Nada as Hot Lips and I go round the table about police and police accountability and ending prohibition. Again, thank you for being here, and catch you tomorrow night. 62 minutes to the top of our show, 300, and we're out. 2:38.